So it's heartening, Senator, for me as a black man to hear you say explicitly that these are systemically racist practices that have been going on. We've heard some people in very high power positions in the Trump cabinet say there is no systemic racism. So you coming out flat out saying there is systemic racism is very heartening to me. I guess the next question I would have is, what does it say about us as a country when Donald Trump still has 40% support from parts of the country? What does it say about the fabric of this country when he still has that much support with all the things he has done?
Well, what it says is that when Barack Obama was elected to 2 terms, and some people felt that we had moved to a post-racial era in American history, that they were dead wrong, because the premise of Donald Trump's campaign in 2016 and here in 2020 is that we're still at war. He's backing keeping the Confederate statues up. He's calling for reunions of the Confederate supporters that he can attend in his rallies. And so we should just say, look, it wasn't that we had toned the dial down on racism. The dial had been covered up. And Trump just lifted it up, and there it was the whole time. And he won the presidency of the United States. And so what it says to us is we can't rest on our laurels. We can't accept the status quo, and that 2020 is going to be like 1932, like 1860. It's going to be one of those pivotal years in American history, and everyone has to be involved. And as you were saying, Karim, you know, it's time for everyone to get involved. It's time for everyone to be political, because it's all on the line. If he gets 4 more years, he's going to try to dismantle the healthcare system that helps everyone, educational system that helps everyone. He's going to try to dismantle civil rights laws, criminal justice protections, environmental laws that go right to environmental justice. He wants to dismantle the whole thing, all the victories of the last 50 years, dismantle it. And if he gets 2 more appointments to the Supreme Court, he'll have a rubber stamp to basically okay his regulatory decisions to do that. And so from my perspective, this is the most energized politically I've ever been. I just get up to fight this man and what he's trying to do. And I urge everyone to do the same thing. We have 6 months to go, so we can fumigate the White House. Just clean it out, and the Senate as well, so that we can really create a vision for our country that takes us towards this post-racial. Not that we'll ever be there in our lifetimes, but at least we're advancing towards that goal, post-racial, era in our country's history. And I'm glad that Barack Obama is up and fighting. I'm glad that that people by the millions are showing up on the streets, and it looks like the United Nations on the streets. Every race is out there, all standing up saying we don't want to live in this country. And I guess what I would say is that in 2016, we all assumed he could not win. We all assumed that Trump could not win. Fox News said he couldn't win. CNN said he couldn't win. MSNBC said he couldn't win. But it turns out there were millions of secret voters for him who don't want to be polled and admit that they agree with everything he says. And these are just smiling faces walking down the street every day, that you're thinking nice people. And in fact, they didn't want to get polls. They lied to the pollster, and then he won. And the same thing can happen this time, which is why we have a responsibility to get up and out in historic numbers to make sure that this historical aberration is just removed from power, and we have a chance to do it. And I think all of history will look back to see, did we in fact accomplish that goal?